Hello, everybody. Hi, Miss
Hey.
Susan and Shannon. Shannon is my mom, by the way. She
Hi,
will
Shannon.
lifetime supporter. I love it.
I love that.
I know, I know. Hi, guys. So, as y'all can see, I have a new friend on here. We call her Bex or Beccie, but not Becca, as long
Right.
as it's nothing like that. She is actually doing a really, really cool project that I randomly got the pleasure of eventually being a part of it. I have to actually do the video and send it to you, but I told you I'd forget, and I did. So I will do it.
I said
But
I'd send you a reminder, and I have. I sent everybody a reminder.
you did, and I do appreciate that. It's definitely needed for sure. But I do have it is written down in my planner now, so it will be done. So very excited for that. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to meet another YouTuber. And if you just kind of want to tell them a little bit about yourself, like how long have you been doing this, a little bit about the project if you want to, you don't have to. It could be like a secret project. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
it's not that
So
secret.
okay, so yeah, you can just share whatever you'd like, and then we can get in and just kind of start talking to answering some of the comments that are coming in as well. And if you
Okay.
guys have comments for her, feel free to put those in the comment section.
My name is Becky, as Maddie has already suggested. My channel is BecxReadz. I've been on BookTube. This time around, it's only been like 2.5 years. I
Okay.
once upon a time did it under a different channel name, like in 2018 to 2020. And then I gave up because I had this notion that I was going to like get off social media, all of them.
Gotcha.
And I did. I left Facebook for good.
Well, there you
Uh,
go.
and then I just realized that I really liked talking about books and editing videos about books and stuff like that. So I made a new channel, BecxReadz. I've been here for 2.5 years now. I read mostly romance and fantasy. Those are my two favorite genres. So if you combine them for fantasy romance, I'm in heaven. But I do read a little bit of everything. I tend to read a lot of unknown authors and books or lesser
Yeah.
known authors and books
Yeah.
than
Do you
everybody.
like a lot of indie authors?
I do, yes. I love supporting indie authors, getting their name out there, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much help I am because I'm such a small platform, but I
Every little
try.
bit.
I try. If I can give them a new fan, that's all I care about.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
my project that Maddie will be participating in is my booktubers across the USA, which I did it last year as well. And I've just tried to find a booktuber from every state, and they will send me in a clip, and I will compile it into one video. And this year, people will be sharing their favorite indie book that they've read so far this year. So
Yeah.
I'm
Have
excited
you
to.
found, did you find all 50 people?
Not yet. Nope.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't quite do it last year, but I think I found more people this year. So I
Oh,
think I'm
that's
missing
good.
6 states.
Okay. Okay. So which ones are you still looking for?
I am still looking for Delaware, Iowa, Montana, Nebraska, Maine, and New Hampshire.
Well,
So
I know nobody from
yeah,
any of those
I
places.
have a I have stalked BookTube.
Yeah, oh, I'm
I feel
sure.
like a stalker. Let me tell you how I found these people. I'm not even gonna say because like somebody will flag me to the FBI or something.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But
But
that is
I've
amazing that
I
you got
found
everything
most
you
of
have.
them,
Yeah, that is
and you were
awesome.
one of them. I don't know how I found you or
I don't even
searching
know.
many of the search words I put into YouTube and Google, you just
Yeah,
popped up, and I was like,
yeah, let's
okay.
do it.
I
Well,
think
I'm always
Oklahoma was one of the states I was missing last year, so I was like, yes, I found somebody finally.
there you go. Anytime you need help from Oklahoma, I'm here for you.
Yep, I appreciate it. So
I'm
if anybody
excited.
out there is a booktuber from any of those states and wants to join,
Yes.
DM me.
let us know. Let us know. You can find Bex on Instagram as well, which I do have to put that in the description. That is something I was trying to do earlier, and then we had no internet. So now that I have internet, I can correct all this stuff. So all of her information will be down in the description box, so you guys can follow her on all of her different platforms as well. And if you do happen to have a booktube and you are from one of those states, hit her up. It's going to be a really fun project. I'm very excited to see it. I think that that's awesome. Just, I love when it is booktubers supporting booktubers. That's great. I love it.
I am a big proponent of that. I love doing collabs with people, and I try to get like a nice diverse selection when I do collabs, whether it be somebody who's like really popular on BookTube and somebody who's just starting out.
Yes.
I love bringing them together like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, and then we all have such different likes and opinions that it is very helpful whenever you have different people. Like we were just talking about earlier, we can tend to put ourselves in these little bubbles and we just get stuck watching these same people. But in reality, it's like, well, what if I like these other books that none of them talk about? You know, like I don't technically follow people who love a lot of romantasy, which is your romance fantasy. But because I follow you, I know more of that than I used to. And then also you love a lot of indie authors. So that's a huge thing because there's not as many people who talk about indie authors in my area as I think that they should. And I didn't know much about them until just this year, really. Because if you're not really on like social media, it's hard for you to find those books.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I think BookTube in general, we can all get into our little cliques of people who we, you know, you want to talk about the same things you talk about with people who enjoy the same thing. So you find your little group and you tend to stay in it, and you do like readathons with them and sprints with them. And and then and then you're like, well, I like to branch out. I like to follow people who I might not have the same reading taste as. Like, I follow people who read thrillers, and I'm not a thriller reader all that much. I follow people who read horror, and I'm not a horror person all that much.
Oh, yeah, no.
I pretty much like watching people talk about the books they enjoy. So that's pretty much what I care about.
Well, and now you watch someone who does actually like Brandon Sanderson and you don't.
Oh my gosh. The amount of people who like Brandon Sanderson, I'm just like, that's why I know so much about him, because I watch so many people who read his books, and I'm just like, I know who he is. I know all about these books now. I'm still not interested though.
Well, but that's okay. That is okay, because I'm sure that there are probably books that you like that I'm like,
Oh yes, I'm sure there are.
All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and start introducing some people. That way you can get to see them. And so this is Grandma Susan. Hi, Miss Susan. Good evening, all. Looking forward to sprints. Susan is wonderful, just so you know. She is like one of the biggest supporters because she's just everywhere she possibly can be and just loves to be a part of everything. I love it. And then Shannon Small, that's my mom. So good evening, Mom.
Love that your mom supports that.
Yes. My mom is a huge reader, and she was for most of my life. And then we both kind of took a break from reading around the same time, which is interesting. And then I really started getting back into reading, which then got her started back into reading more. And I'm highly impressed with my mom because she doesn't do like I do, where I will do the tandem reading of listening to an audiobook and read at the same time. She has been reading since, I think she said it was March, like 12th or 13th or something along those lines. She got all the Wheel of Time books, and she is already on 13.
Oh my gosh.
That was like 2 months. My goodness. I guess that's also retirement for you, though. So, yeah.
That kind of lines up with mine and my mom's story, too. My mom was a big reader, and I never really was. And then I got into reading, and it sort of reinvigorated her love of reading.
Yeah.
But we don't read nearly the same things. My mom's a big historical romance reader, and I am not.
Yeah. My mom and I sometimes will overlap with things, and she appeases me by reading books that I tell her she needs to read. But sometimes we're like, you'll just read your own thing, and I'll just read my own thing. and that
Yeah,
works.
pretty much
But
how it
that's
is.
something I do love, is that whenever you have people who are passionate about reading and you talk about it, it does like on it's weird. It like does stroke a little fire in people, because if you already had this little love of reading and then you took a break or whatever, hearing somebody passionately discuss books will get you right back into that. And I think that that's wonderful. And that's a huge thing that I love about BookTube, is that you never know when a video is going to help somebody get back into this passion of reading. So I love that. I love that. Well, and hi, Miss Carla.
Hi,
And she
Carla.
says, hi, new friend. So, and my mom says that sounds really cool. So she's talking about your project, which
Thank you.
I think that's awesome as well.
I'm not a very creative booktuber, but every now and then an idea sparks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. That's why I created a readathon in one night, which is bonkers. But I literally couldn't go to sleep until 5 in the morning because I just kept thinking, like, oh, all these parts of this readathon could work so well together. And here we are. We're starting a readathon on Friday. And
you like get a little bug in your brain, and you're like, if I don't make a video about this,
yes,
I'm never gonna get to sleep.
Yes, that is me. And I should have written it down, but I didn't. So I just stayed up all night thinking about it. But I learned. I now have a pen and paper next to my bed. And Carla also think that that is an awesome project, which I'm so excited to see it. Susan thinks so. Looking forward to it.
I do have last year's on my channel somewhere. If you go and search for it, you can watch last year's.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't
more booktubers.
I do need to watch last year's because I had never heard of this, but I love the idea of it. I think it's going to be wonderful.
I'm on this mission to find every state.
It will happen. It may not happen.
Year, I'm going to do it until I get a booktuber for every state.
Yes. Yes. I believe it. There has to be people from every state. There has to be.
Well, and I said, like, if you're from those states that aren't represented, that's just, and you wanted to start a booktube, that's your sign. You're needed here.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You'll be the one solo person in your entire state.
Yes. I had to ask people to represent that represented some states last year because they were the literal only person I could track down.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know.
Well, Grandma Susan just said, PK from Bookie Monsters is from Montana. I enjoy her. I don't actually know who that is. I don't know if you know who that is.
I will search them out now.
There you go. There you go. Susan always coming in clutch. I love it. Hello. So happy for sprints. Hi, Laura. You finished Skyward yesterday. We'll probably carry on with City of Brass tonight. Okay. I haven't started Skyward yet. I was literally just talking about how I have been reading The Chestnut Man, which is like it's like a thriller, mystery, creepy book, but I'm really enjoying it. But it's huge. And I know that if I keep reading it, then I probably won't get Skyward finished this week. But I really need to get Skyward finished for our meeting that we're going to have on the 1st. And since next week is our readathon, it's like I got to be reading murder books next week, which really The Chestnut Man should probably have waited till then. But I couldn't wait because my audiobook came in for it. And I have like 4 days left. So that's also part of it. So I'll probably switch back and forth. We'll see. If Skyward doesn't catch my attention right away, I'm probably going to have to switch back to Chestnut Man because I am like heavily engrossed in it right now. But City of Brass, I've never read, but I want to.
That's the first book in that series, right? The Devabod trilogy?
I think so. Yes.
I think I tried that and I just did not get into it for the life of me. I wanted to.
Yeah, I hear that as well. It's one that people either really, really love and they love the world building, and then there's others who absolutely hate it. So I don't know. I want to read it eventually. So
but that's Laura, Shannon Chakraborty, right?
Yes, whoever it was that wrote Amina Al-Sarafi.
Yeah, see, and I just don't think their books is for me because I tried reading Amina too, and I could not get into it. So I think it's just the writing that
maybe it is the writing that happens too.
Doesn't work for me. But I hope
So,
you enjoy it.
yes, I do too. And you will have to let me know what you think because I am very intrigued. But I just don't, honestly, I just haven't seen it anywhere, so I haven't picked it up. But if I see it, I'll probably pick it up. And then my mom said, I'm so grateful both of my kids have grown up to be readers. And for the most part, I've really enjoyed every book Madison has recommended. It's true. Because I have great taste. That's not really why. But mostly because I keep sending her like mystery books. So she did Everybody in My Family Has Killed Somebody or Everyone on this Train is a Suspect. And we both really loved those. She loved Trust of the Emerald Sea. So it was things that it's like, okay, I know these sort of things about us. We both like humorous books. So we would probably both really like those. But I don't know about like romance and things. I don't know if she reads those, to be honest. So I would just never recommend it. But
Right.
yeah. And hi, Kim. How are you? New here. You will probably jump back and forth with PK. Okay. Second person to mention PK. And I feel like I should know what that means, but I don't. And maybe you don't know what that means either, do you?
I have no clue.
Okay. It's not just me. It's not just me. They sound wonderful, though.
I don't know.
I don't know. My mom says hi to Kim, and Susan says hi to Kim. Yes, very happy to have you, Kim. And I understand switching back and forth. There's a lot of things going on tonight. So come as much as you want, as little as you want. You're going to be reading by book or by crook by Eva Gates and Miss Mallory, and Death by Water by Hazel Holt. I love cozies. I don't know either of those, but that by book or by crook sounds really good. I'll have to add these ones to my list. I love a good cozy mystery. Absolutely. So that'll probably have to be on my list. Sounds like a good time. Hi, Miss Peacock. How are you? You are reading Someone Else's Life by Lynn Leo Butler. I'm not sure if I said that middle name correctly. I don't know that one either. Someone Else's Life. Is this like I don't know. Is it just a fiction book? Is it thriller, mystery, romance? I don't know. And then PK does sprints on Tuesday and Thursday nights and Saturday afternoon. She also goes live Monday through Friday with new releases for the week. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That is a lot. Tuesday and Thursday nights and Saturday afternoon. My goodness.
I could not.
No, I have a 4-year-old. She would not allow me to do that. I'm going to be trying. So on Thursday, I am doing a midday one with my friend Sam from A Spark of Sam. And we're going to be trying to do it at 11 o'clock my time, which is Central Standard Time. It's probably going to be us two and my daughter because we're just going to risk it, like we're going to try.
Honestly, I would prefer like midday because I work from home and I have a very easy job. So like middays, most of my friends, when they want to do sprints, they want to start them at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like,
right.
Babes, that's my bedtime.
Yes, when you were like, well, I want to be done by 9, I'm like, that's usually when I finally have free time because Piper's asleep.
I'm like, yep, I'm getting ready for bed at 9.
Yeah.
Every now and then if somebody's like, well, that's the only time that works, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make it work. Because I don't have kids other than this thing.
Right. Very attention.
I like my sleep and I have a sleep schedule. So
That's fair. That's fair. Wow.
Well, make it work, but
I couldn't. Goes live Monday through Friday with new releases for the week as well. That is just also, that's crazy. Okay. I do think I know who you're talking about. I did not register the name, but the new releases every week, I have seen that. It's not something I watch all the time, but it's just randomly popped up in my like watch next when I'm just scrolling. And Kim also says hello to Shannon and Susan. You're also setting up new to you Chromebook. Oh, there you go. I would have no idea what to do with the Chromebook. I
do.
You do? See, I only know how to use Apple products, and that is honestly just by like accident that I happen to end up with all Apple products. And now I'm like, anything else? I have no idea. None.
I am a staunch Android
Yeah,
user.
that is
Yeah.
so funny. I love it. I love it. Some of my best friends are the same way. And so anytime we have to try to use each other's phones or computers, we're just like, nope,
Oh yeah.
nope,
Yeah.
can't use it.
My sister's an iPhone user too, and every time I use her phone, I'm like, "Where's your back button? How do I do this?"
To me, I'm like, it's so simple. But you guys probably
I've got some things figured out, but then other things, and then she gets my phone and she's like, "Where is this?" I'm like, "That's right."
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Are you guys, everyone watching, are you guys Apple or Android or somewhere in between? I know there's other phones, but nobody talks about them. But they do exist. So PK, it's her initials instead of a name. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. PK is Bookie Monster. Am I saying that right? Like
I'm gonna look
Bookie.
that up. Somebody
We
said
on
they were
Sunday.
from Montana, so I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, the Beach Bum Bookworm. Okay, well that sounds great.
I've heard it. I've
Beach
heard
Bum
of her.
Bookworm. Yeah.
I think
That's
she was somebody I scoped out, but she was from a state I already had somebody
someone
from.
you stalked. For those who weren't here for the beginning, Bex doesn't just go stalking people. She's working on a project.
I'm not a stalker. I was looking for something specific.
I'm just stalking because I'm working on a project where she's
Yeah.
trying to get one booktuber from every state, so 50 states, and she's only missing a couple, which is incredible. So I think we just found possibly one, but that's what she's talking about when she says stalking.
Yeah.
She's not
No,
an
I'm
actual
not just
stalker.
stalking people on the internet, I promise. I don't have the willpower or the time
Yeah.
to do that.
Amen. Amen. That's why we have internet and it's work. It's great. Okay, so your book is a thriller. I am slowly starting to get into thrillers, but they still make me a little nervous. And I don't, and mainly it's because I read at night because that's when I have the biggest chunk of time to read, because once Piper's asleep, for the most part I'm free. So it just makes me have the heebie-jeebies before I go to bed, and then I can't sleep. So that's why. By Book or by Crook is the first book in a Lighthouse Library series.
Oh, that's
Man,
so cute.
right? I'm the person, if it has anything to do with a library, a bookstore, books in general, it's probably going to be pretty high on my list if I want to read. And so now that it's in a lighthouse library,
I like that
and I live
sound.
on a boat, you know, like I think it's meant to be. I'll have to look those ones up.
Lighthouses do catch my
Courtney.
attention.
Yeah. Courtney, hello. You just got home. You'll be reading From Blood and Ash tonight. You're only about 20 pages in. Well, then you definitely have your night cut out for you, don't you?
Enjoy.
Have you read that one?
I tried.
Yeah.
And I didn't like, well, I didn't like where the story was going because like
Yeah.
I had tried to read the first book and then everybody else was on like the third or fourth book and they were telling me all about it and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like where that's going, so I
haven't read it.
DNF'd it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. You'll be there Thursday. Whoop whoop. It'll be a fun time. I'm very excited. And also hesitant. We're all going to probably have to babysit Piper together. So it'll be good. Tonight you're reading I Must Betray You by Carla. I literally just bought that from a thrift store. We passed one and I was looking for a specific book that Donna, my friend, and I are supposed to be reading this month. And I happened to see that and it was like, this actually looks pretty good. I've never heard of anything by Ruta, but it looked really good. And so I happened to buy it. Like, what are the odds? Small world. You have to tell me what you think about it, because if the cover was enough to make me want to buy it, and the synopsis, of course, I did read that too. If you love it, that'll definitely make me want to put it higher on my list. But that's crazy. I hope that you enjoy it. Kim, you retired in December, so you catch what you can. I get it. I mean, to an extent, I'm not retired, but I understand what you mean. And Carla, you'll be there Thursday as well. That'll be great. That'll be great. You guys also get to see Sam. She's such a sweetheart. Your kitty is just like, stop talking to them, Mom.
She's a needy girl. I don't know why every time I get on lives with somebody, she wants to be here.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, my kid's the same way. So I get it. And Mom, you just started Towers of Midnight, which is book 13 of The Wheel of Time, and you'll try to be there Thursday, which will be great. Get some more reading done and hopefully finish number 13. You're well on your way. And you're reading With Each Tomorrow, a historical Christian fiction. I don't know that one either, but you've always recommended really good books, so I'm definitely going to be putting that one on my list. PK is Mountain Time. Okay, that's also good to know. Trying to keep up with everybody's times is really hard, but I can't say YouTube has taught me to actually figure out people's timings now. So I can say, oh, it's 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, but then I can usually figure out what other people's were. Whereas before I was just like, you're going to have to tell me what that means to you because I don't know.
And then if you work with people who are like in a different country, it's even.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't gone there yet. We're just the United States.
That was ahead of me, which means we need to do this at this time, my time.
Oh. Yeah. No, not there yet. Maybe one day. So Kim, you're an Android other than 2 Amazon Fire tablets. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I struggle to use my Amazon Fire tablet too.
I actually switched from I had a Kindle Fire for the longest time. Yeah. And I actually just switched to just a regular like Android tablet because I wanted to use like Everand's audio or ebooks, and then I wanted to access like Libby without it going through my Kindle.
Yeah. So. That makes sense. That makes sense. I just don't do a lot of reading on my Kindle, so to me, like, it's not a big deal just yet. Maybe if I get into it, then I'll have to change. Miss Peacock, yes, she does. I have not added everything to the description because I was trying to get on to do that earlier and we lost internet. So we happened to get it just a couple minutes before we started up. So during the break, I will get everything added. That way you guys can follow her on, it's just Instagram and YouTube, right? Because you said you don't do Facebook or anything. Yep. All right. So I'll make sure to have those linked down below for you guys. And Miss Peacock also loves Android. I'm thinking it's like 3 against 1. But my mom has an iPhone, and I know that. So, and Carla loves Apple. Okay. Susan, your Apple had to switch when I became legally blind. It was easier to use than Android for me because they worked better for me as a blind person.
Yes, team blind girls. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel you. I am also legally blind.
That is crazy. I actually was born, so I'm not legally blind, but I was actually born without sight in one of my eyes, which is fascinating because supposedly to like get your license, you have to be able to see out of your left eye. And that might be different in like Europe because of the sides of the roads that you're on. So I can see out of my left, but I can't see out of my right. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. But if it was the other way around, I wouldn't have been able to drive, which is crazy to me.
That's interesting. No one ever said that to me. I wasn't able to get my license because my eyes are so bad. So
really, my goodness,
I cheated to get my learner's permit. I just memorized the eye chart.
Right.
And then learning to drive, I realized that I should not be on the roads.
So I feel like they probably knew what they were talking about.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
So I understand the whole, needing to have some bigger font and everything like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bigger the better sometimes. So the beach bum bookworm is Tiffany, and she is in Florida. She is the cozy queen. All right. I will be looking her up.
I did find her. That name does sound familiar. And then I was like, dang it, I've already got somebody from Florida.
Yeah, I feel like there's several from Florida.
Oh, yes. Florida, California, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina and Michigan. Very
popular. I would expect. Wow. Well, there you go. And then one from Oklahoma so far.
I know there are found from Oklahoma so far.
Yeah. There are others because we've talked about it, but that's why I was kind of shocked that
Well, no,
there
I
wasn't
did
any.
find one other too. I found Brandy reads books. Brandy loves reading, something
Okay.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Don't
And
know
I
that
reached
one.
out to her, but she never responded. So
Gotcha. Well,
you were meant to be.
my gain. Mom also says that she's Team Apple. Made my mom switch from Android phone since she calls me at least twice a week with a tech issue on her phone. She had to have a phone I could actually understand, which is very true. And now she just calls her because she can't figure out how to work her Samsung tablet. So my mom's still in a pickle with her. So, what states are you missing? Storm Reads and Sonia with an I are both Missouri. I do know
Oh, I
Sonia
wish I would have known that. I have a Missouri.
from
She's the same
Missouri.
one who represented Missouri last year for me because I couldn't find one.
Oh man.
Oh.
So you have a graphic that you were sharing in the community post, correct?
Mhm.
And is
Yes.
it updated now, like with the ones that you're currently missing?
Yeah, all but West Virginia. I just found somebody just contacted me and like, I was for West Virginia. I'm like sold. You're in.
Gotcha. Love it.
Um,
Well, I will share that in my community. So all of you guys
yeah,
watching, if you guys want to try
please
and help,
do.
if you look in my community tab, and it'll also be on Beck's page and in her community tab, then maybe we can find those last couple that you're needing. How wonderful would that be if you could
That
get
would
all 50
be
this
awesome.
year? Right? We're
Yes,
good. It'll happen. It'll
I'm
happen.
trying. I'm trying. I really don't want to do it again next year, but I will if I have to. It just takes so much time.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
started tracking people down, I think, beginning of April.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Wow.
I'm putting this video out July 4th.
Right. So we're getting down to the
So
wire. Man.
it takes a while, but
Oh, hopefully
you
we'll
know,
get there.
I'm aiming for it.
So Miss Peacock says that she's weird and she can read scary books at night before bed, but I can't watch scary movies at night. That is weird. Which, I mean, I guess to me, there's not a difference. If I watch a scary movie, then try to go to bed, like I am like a child. I just cannot do it. I get freaked out.
I can't either. I'm a
Yeah.
chicken. I can't do
Oh yeah.
that.
Big old wuss. And I'm married to a man who absolutely loves horror. It's like, well, you can watch that all on your own
Nope.
because I'm not going to entertain that whatsoever.
I have
And my
too
mom is
vivid of
the exact
imagination for that, so my
yeah.
brain just
Yes. Yes. Well, and every noise that you hear, I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody's sneaking on and they're going to murder us. It's like literally you've heard that noise every night since you've been here. But tonight, particularly, it's now somebody who's going to murder me. So, yeah. Yeah.
I understand.
You guys are talking back and forth. Hi, Chris. You were reading Dial A for Aunties. Oh, yeah. You talked about that. A wreck because you liked Arsenic and Adobo. Okay, that's a book that I've been wanting to read, but I don't know a ton about, but the cover is awesome. But you don't like the MC. She's too dumb, and it's not a mystery. Hate it, DNF'd it. Oh, no. Well, I just DNF'd a book this week, too, that I thought I would love because it was a mystery, and I hated it. I thought
The
I would really
DNF
like it.
book's real easy.
Do you see? I'm starting to, but it took a lot of work for me to get to that point where I felt comfortable doing that because I felt like somebody worked really hard to get this book out there, but then I had to remember like, but somebody liked this book enough to publish it, so there are other people who will like this book. It doesn't have to be me, and I can't like every single book out there because we're all different. But
I was trying to read a book for one of my friends' books clubs, and 2 pages in, I DNF'd it because I was like, I don't like this writing style.
That's fair. I probably should have done that with some of the books that I've read. I knew early on, and I just kept doing it. So thanks. And Chris, you have an iPhone, but was thinking of switching to an Android. Not sure because my daughter has an iPhone and the iMessage feature. Oh yeah, that is really nice. That's definitely something that I mean, group chats are easier when it is the same thing either way. But I mean, I still message people that have Androids and we get along just right.
I mean, not most of mine. I have a family group chat, and about half of us are Android, half of us are iPhone.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I have to adjust my knees going to sleep. Courtney, hello. You might have said it already, but I was late. What states are you missing?
I'm looking for Delaware, Iowa, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire. I think that's it. And Vermont, maybe? Or
Okay.
maybe I found somebody from Vermont. I can't remember. But those are the ones.
We're so close.
So
That's
close.
amazing. So if you guys know of anybody, let us know.
Oh,
I feel
nope, I
like
have Vermont. I'm looking for Delaware, Iowa, Maine. Maine was it. Maine,
okay.
Montana, Nebraska.
Courtney knows a lot of YouTubers, and it's so funny. Like, I just see you pop up in these random sprints. I might not be saying anything, but I see you pop up, and it's like, oh, Courtney's here too. How fun! And eventually, I'll probably say something, but I'm the wallflower of sprints, so which is interesting because I also run them. Hi, Donna. Welcome. You can't do horror movies ever. I know that that is true. So Donna is my best friend, and we are on the same do not watch horror movies train. So our husbands will watch them together. Yeah. We'll just watch our own thing. So let's go read a book. They can do their own watching of horrors. That is not me.
People are like, "What's the scariest movie you've ever seen?" I'm like, "Scream."
That's it.
I'm like, "Yes, it is." I still don't like that mask. I still don't like it. Yeah. It still gives me nightmares. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can say I had watched The Others a long time ago. This is one with Nicole Kidman, and it's about like a house that is supposedly haunted, and then like you learn a lot about these ghosts and stuff. And I still to this day actually love that movie, even though it creeps me out, because I didn't see the twist coming. And even though now I know what is happening, I'm still like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know. I really liked that movie, but that's one of the only horrors I've ever really watched. But Chris says that they love horror, but you also love Hallmark movies. And what book did I do enough? This one, The Beekeeper's Apprentice. I talked about this at the end of my most recent video, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be DNFing it, but I ended up because I feel like there was nothing with the characters whatsoever. Like, you were just thrown in, and it's following a lady who is becoming like an apprentice for Sherlock Holmes. So I thought, well, I'd love that because I love Sherlock Holmes. But I think that the author was just kind of expecting you to have this love of Sherlock Holmes, so then she doesn't have to create him as more of a character, and then just forgot to create a character with the other person. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I got halfway through it, so I gave it a good shot. I tried, but yeah. And then Chris also says, DNFing is your right. Who has time to read? You're not enjoying. I usually give it 100 pages, but if I'm not feeling sooner, that's okay too. Yeah. So I should have stopped that one sooner because I knew about like 50 pages in that I'm not enjoying this. But
it's so weird though with DNFing because there's books that like I'm not enjoying and I know I should DNF it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I live on a very loud road.
You're good.
I know I should DNF it because I'm hating it, but some part of me just wants to see how it ends. And then there's other books that I'm mildly enjoying, but I'm just like, I know this is a 3-star book and I just don't have it in me to give it this attention for 3 stars. Yeah. So I don't know why.
That's fair. That is fair. I should do that more often, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm still in my like baby phase of DNFing, but I will be doing it more often. I just have too many amazing books that I want to read.
No. Especially when you pay for the books and people are like, hey, you paid money for it. I'm like, listen, how do I know that I'm going to hate this book unless I try and read it?
True. I do have a hard time if I bought it like brand new, spent like full price on a book, which is rare for me. But if I do that, I'm like, man, now I have to like this book. And so that's why I don't do it that often, because I feel guilt if I don't like it, or I'll force myself to read the whole thing and then absolutely hate every minute of it. And so I just wait until people that I trust and know have said it's a good book, and then I'll go and buy it. You know, which is not what happened with The Beekeeper's Apprentice, apparently. I just saw that one. But I bought it cheap, so it's fine. You followed a lot of people because they do sprints, and now I watch their videos too. I follow the sprint spreadsheet that Vanessa, Reading with Dr. B, puts together when I need company or motivation.
She is one of my booktubers across the USA.
Is she really?
Yes, she
Vanessa is wonderful. She is so stinking sweet. And like the fact that she would put together an entire spreadsheet, which if you guys are big in sprints and you don't know about this yet, you can go to Reading with Dr. B on YouTube. She has her videos, but she does have a link specifically for a sprint spreadsheet that will tell you everything that you need to know of like, hey, I'm free at this time on this day. Who does a sprint? And we're all on there. It's wonderful. I love that spreadsheet. Okay, and then Courtney, she may have found someone. Kelsey from Essentially Booked is from Iowa. If you need it in Iowa, I don't know if you've reached out to her.
I need in Iowa. I'm gonna screenshot that so I can check it out later.
There you go. We might have you
were doing it. You found me too already. Now let's hope that they just respond to the request.
Yes, that's true.
That's the thing.
Yes, DNF more. There's so many books waiting for you to love them. It's very true. And so last month I did DNF 4 books, which was like the most I've ever DNF'd in 1 month. But it really was like, I am not enjoying this. Let's not spend our time on this. And some of them were soft DNF, which for those that don't understand, DNF means did not finish. And a soft DNF is one where it's like, I'm just not necessarily in the mood or the headspace for this book, but I know it's one that I would enjoy. Like what I was telling you earlier before we got on here, The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. I'm sure I'm going to like it, but it was one that I had to DNF because I didn't have the time to sit down and physically read the book myself. And because there were so many different languages being used in a way, so they're like creative languages, I just didn't really understand what was going on. So I went ahead and soft DNF'd that, but I will pick it back up down the road. But then there were others like The Beekeeper's Apprentice that I just showed you guys that I will never pick back up. So I'm getting there.
Last year alone, I think I DNF'd over 60 books. So,
wow, my goodness, that's like, you should have a trophy for that. That's pretty amazing. Oh, my goodness. Well,
big supporter of DNF that book.
That's fair. So if I'm ever struggling, I'll talk to you and you can be like, just stop.
I'd be like, just DNF it.
I love it. Well, we are going to go ahead and start a sprint. I got to find my phone. There it is. We're at 6:42 or 6:43. So we're going to go ahead and do this for 45 minutes. So we'll come back on the 30. I didn't tell you guys, if y'all were joining in later, I will be reading Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is for my Patreons. We're all going to be reading this for our book club. We will be having another sprint just for Patreons Thursday night. So I will be finishing this up there, but I will start this tonight. So, sorry, now I got something in my eye, which is super great when you're on camera and you start crying. So yeah, I'll get the thing set and we will go for the 30. Then we'll come back and just kind of check up and see where you guys are up to. All right. Sound good? Okay. Well, then we will see you guys back here. Let me get this going. right, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Did you get much reading done?
I got about 10% read.
Okay, that's good.
I'm about 66% into my book.
Gotcha. I only was able to get through the first chapter of Skyward. We are currently in the process of selling our house that we lived at before the boat. And we got an offer today, which is great. But now we're kind of like working out the details. So Cody and I were discussing that through part of it. So, you know, I guess adult priorities
Right.
had to take over. But how did everyone else do during your sprint? Donna, I saw you say this earlier. You got 7 pages into one. She's talking about DNFing. And it was so poorly written that I couldn't finish it. I had to have a friend give me permission to DNF. Yeah, so Donna is very much like me, where we have a very, very hard time DNFing. But I can say that just the first chapter of Skyward has already gotten my attention, so that's good. I'm not really, like, I haven't read a ton of sci-fi, and I'm assuming this is a sci-fi kind of book. But it's been pretty good.
I don't read much sci-fi either. Every now and then something will grab my attention, but sci-fi is very not my normal genre.
Yes. Well, it's a hit or miss for me. But I
I'm
did
currently reading. Let's see if I can find it. I was gonna share it, but I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I was hoping I'd be able to share it, but I don't think I can.
Oh
well. Anyway, it's called In the Hour of Crows.
I don't know what that one is.
And it's by Dana Elmendorf. It's an arc that I have to read, so it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a murder mystery almost.
Yeah.
With like a little bit of magical realism thrown in.
Okay. That sounds pretty good, though. Yeah. I like books like that. I never really thought I was like a magical realism person until this year. I finally started reading a couple, and it's like, okay, I kind of like that, where it's not necessarily this huge, thing. It's just like little bits of magic here and there. I appreciated that. I liked it. Let me see. Susan, you said you read 5% more of your book. And she said, Becky, that's impressive. And Maddie praying your house sales. Thank you so much. Kim, listening to the Braves and tagging books on Libby and Hoopla. I feel like Libby and Hoopla have now created this like thing for me, where I used to be a window shopper at like the mall and stuff, where you just walk through and you kind of look at everything, but you would never buy anything. And that's Libby and Hoopla. I'm like, all it's doing is just making my bookshelves bigger without me actually getting stuff, because I don't need it until I need it. But my goodness, my list of books on both of those is so long.
Right.
I'll never get through them. And then, Mom, you're on page 70 of 863, so you have a bit to go. Yep, but you've done this before. Sorry, I have to pause for a second so I can see out my door here, and we have our dogs outside, and I'm watching my dog literally climb over our 5-foot tall fence. Like,
sign that dog up for an obstacle course.
No kidding. We had to raise it. We've already put a fence up, and then we had to raise it again because she kept escaping, and now she has just escaped again. So I'm gonna have to tell Cody, guys, give me a moment. Sorry, real life's happening. I have to tell Cody to go get her. We're not supposed to have dogs off of a leash on the dock over here.
Oh yeah.
So we have to grab her before. Anyways, you guys might be able to get a free dog soon if she keeps escaping. My goodness, I would never get rid of her, but she is a handful. So anyways, Mom, you're doing great. You're going to get there. Laura, you talked to your sister for a while, so only read a bit, about 17 pages read. Now on 160 of 560 in City of Brass.
That's
Hey,
pretty good.
yeah, not bad. Not bad. That's further than I got, so that's good. Oh, and Grandma Susan subscribed to your channel and is
Thank
now following you
you. I
on
appreciate
Instagram.
it. Oh, I did look up the two people that were suggested to me for my
Yeah.
project. Reached out to Kelsey, but I was unable to reach out to Bookie Monster. She didn't have like an email or an Instagram, so I wasn't able
Oh, got
to.
you.
So if anybody knows how to contact her or send her my way, please do so.
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, I don't know any other way. I just find people on here and then I message them through Instagram because
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
how
how
else
I've
am I
been doing
supposed
it. So or email. If they have an email, I've been emailing them
Yeah,
too. Like I have to be able to contact them.
right,
So,
right.
and she didn't have one. I
Well,
looked at her blog and I couldn't find an email or anything. So
well, bummer.
yeah,
Bummer. Well, maybe somebody will mention it in something and then they'll be like, oh,
maybe.
I need to contact her. Laura, you loved Skyward. It was your first Sanderson. You already have the other 3 books in the series on hold at my library. Wow, you must really like it then. That's awesome. Yeah, I was actually going to try and figure out if we are going to be doing like one of the books every month for our book club, since we're doing this one this month, and like, or if we all just like it so much that we have to read them all as closely together as possible, because I get like that with certain series where I don't want to wait 4 months. But I don't know. That gives me hope that since you really liked it, and Cody, my husband, really liked it, but I haven't heard anyone else.
Good things about it.
I have heard good things, but only like my heard good things means when people have their bookcases behind them, it's like sitting facing outwards where you see the cover.
Right.
And I know some people will put their books up like that because it means like we really, really liked this book. Whereas I only do it if it matches my aesthetic. It doesn't matter if I liked the book or not. Sometimes I've never even read the book, but it's pretty.
We are attracted to covers.
Yes, I'm a cover shopper. Mom, you'll be reading Skyward. Looks like you have another series in my immediate future. Yes, you do, but they're not going to be as heavy as Wheel of Time. And then she plans on starting Dune not long after this. So it's like you need a bit of a break. And I feel like Skyward.
Those are some thick books.
Yes, but they are not. They're at least not the same size as Wheel of Time or Dune. Like this one, I think is, well, it's like, okay, it's 500 pages. Wow, I didn't realize it was that big of a book. Never mind. Mom, you got some reading ahead of you. And you have, I believe, 9 library cards, maybe 10. Kim, my goodness. We have 3, which I feel like is excessive, except for the amount of reading that we do. If I'm needing a specific book, this guarantees that at least one of those libraries is going to have that book, so I'm not having to try and go buy it or anything. Because if I'm just doing it for a video, like I don't necessarily want to buy the book until I know that I like the book. But 9 library cards, my goodness, I would.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I
I
have
would probably.
3.
Yeah, and I feel like that's about average for people. It's either 0 or 3. You know, there's.
Right.
I would have to turn everything in late because I'd forget about all my times if I had that many. Donna, you made it to late 375 of Beneath a Scarlet Sky. So that book, it's a historical, well, actually, it's like a real account, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's not, but it sounded really, really cool. And she explains it way better than I could because I haven't read the book, but just know Beneath a Scarlet Sky sounds like a really incredible book. And the cover, like not the oh my gosh, I'm forgetting words all of a sudden. I'm like watching Jubilee. Not the I'm talking about the hardcover. The hardcover of it is really pretty. Oh, hi Linda. So glad you're doing sprints tonight. It was a rough day at work, so I just need to cuddle up with the dogs and read. Oh, I'm so sorry you had a rough day at work. But I am so happy that you're here and that you're able to cuddle up, and of course reading, and then of course getting those doggy snuggles in. That does usually make me feel better as well. And PK is on live right now. Chat is open, so there you go. You could always pop in over there and maybe send a chat like, I wanna talk to you. Oh, you're reading Listen for the Lie. I am very intrigued by that book. It's about, well, it's a murder that happens if I'm not mistaken, but it's written in like a like there's a podcast element to it, which is fascinating to me. I've never read a book that has a podcast element involved, so I'm interested.
I read one. It was, what was it? It was by Courtney Summers. Oh, it was about a girl whose sister went missing. What was that book? I really liked the audio narration of it too. Now I'm going to have to Google it because it's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't help you because I've never read anything by her.
It's a thriller. I think it's like a young adult thriller.
Okay.
But it had a podcast element to it.
That's really cool. There was another one that just came out.
Oh, it was called
Sadie. What is it?
Sadie.
Sadie.
Sadie. Sadie.
I have never heard of it, but I'm very interested in this podcast element of books. So I'll have to jump into that one. Jana, hi there. You just got here. That's okay. Hey, I'm happy you're here. You're reading A Most Efficient Murder by Anthony Slayton. Okay. That sounds good. So Jana sent me like this long list of books that I needed to try and read each month, and I will be reading one of your selections in June, just so you know. I'm not going to tell you what one until the video comes out, but I had to do all my picking ahead of time. But man, I'm excited for it. So if a Most Efficient Murder is anything like these books that you've been recommending to me are going to be, I bet you're having a great time. That sounds really good. Maddie, I'm the same point you are on Skyward, and I'm really enjoying it. Well, good. I'm happy that you're enjoying it just as much. I'm really having a good time already. It's pretty simple to understand, but it could get more complicated down the road. But as of right now, it's pretty simple to follow. Okay, so it is in back 10 cards. That's just crazy. That is so crazy. I would have late finds everywhere, just so y'all know. And then you're going to start Skyward next. If we didn't have the readathon next week, I would have started mine later. Hi, I'm assuming it's Callie, right? You searched up reading sprints because you need motivation to read, and this is the first live that came up. So hi, you're reading the second book in the Throne of Glass series. Yes, welcome. The second book in the Throne of Glass series. That's another series I've never read.
I read it. I read it all. Well, that's a lie. I did not read every book. I skipped some books, but I liked what I read.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I really just started getting back into reading over the last couple of years, I feel like I missed the train for the beginning of these books. And so I was like, now I'm just like, well, I don't really have a draw to them.
Yeah, you know, like, if you don't have a draw, there's no sense in doing it just because they're popular.
Right. Well, and I did that with Fourth Wing, and I didn't like Fourth Wing.
I didn't either. I hated it.
Okay, so to me, I'm like, maybe I don't follow the hype.
And that was like, Fourth Wing is like what I guess it appealed to me because that's, you know, I like reading fantasy romance. I love dragons.
Right.
I hated it.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it. But I hope that you are enjoying this Throne of Glass series, though. If you're reading the second book, then obviously like the first book, which is great. So I hope that you can see
where it's at.
Yeah. And Mom says hello to Callie. And if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm super sorry. And oh my, you have one library card, and I'm constantly postponing my holds when they come in. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I couldn't imagine juggling 10 of them
Mine would
I have
be
a hard
like,
enough.
you have 3 months wait, and then like 2 weeks later, it'll be like all 5 of them coming at once. I'm like, I'm not
Yes.
ready.
Yes. I will plan things out because it's the same way. I'm like, oh, surely this will keep working the way that it's supposed to. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all those books that you had planned out for the next 2 months, you're going to get them all at once. So now you have to change
Yep.
everything.
So now you have to
Yeah.
postpone it, decide which one
Yeah.
you want.
hmm Or you could be like me, who you have like a TBR and you have books that you need to be reading that are your own physical books, and like you need to get them done. And then you go to the library and you still get 5 books. That happened today.
Hmm.
Do I have time to read them? No, I don't. Am I going to try and do it? Yep. Yes, I am. We're saying, hello, Callie. You will love it here. Oh, well, thank you. I do hope that you love it here. We try to have a good time. And Linda loves that series. So there you go. More hype for it. That's great. Only one is local for physical books. The rest are mainly for ebooks. So I don't have to worry about them being late. Oh, okay. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I
that's
tried
how mine
to.
work. I have one, my local one, and then I have a library card from two from California.
Oh, I got you. I don't have any from, well, I guess mine would be from different states, Arkansas and Oklahoma, but we're literally on the border.
Mhm.
So, it's kind of a cheat. But I don't have any from further than that.
Yeah.
That's impressive, guys.
I've taken advantage of those free online library cards.
Oh, yeah. I should probably do that because I'm a huge audiobook junkie as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
'Cause my local library, like it's the capital of New Jersey where I live, so you would think it would have a great selection. And it has
Yeah.
okay, but it doesn't have the best selection, so
Oh, I got
I
you.
have a San Jose, California library card, and it has a great selection.
Well,
So if you're looking at one, San Jose
yeah,
has a free online library card you can apply for.
I might have to look into that. We collect library cards as if it's like treasure, which they kind of are because books are treasures. So, and Linda said, yes, it's very good so far, but the main character, she's a little off. Okay. Well, and Chris, is this talking about the book that Bex was talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Chris knows like so many books. I'm impressed. Highly impressed. Courtney, you only read 15 pages and fought with a toddler to go to bed. Yes, that is an every night thing here. But I am very, very thankful that Cody uses that time and he puts Piper to sleep. So I don't have to help because that's like my 10 minutes a day, unless she's like fussing, which is actually most of the time, that I get completely by myself because as an introvert, like I need to have those moments. So every day I get a little bit of a, reprieve to be alone. So it's really nice. But he also gets to spend that time with her. So,
my dog is over here, like he's approaching slowly. He knows it's almost bedtime.
Oh, gotcha.
He's like, he'll come and stare at me around 8:55. Be like, come on, ready for bed?
How funny.
He's got me on a schedule.
Okay, and then she's saying Sadie, the one you were talking about. Has anyone read the Poldark books? Wondering if they're worth their read. I know that you watched the series, and I'm interested in the series, but yeah, has anybody read the Poldark? I didn't realize it was actually books, but now I'm pretty interested. How exciting. You can't wait to hear which book it is. Yeah. Yep. I'm excited for it too. I literally went to the library to pick it up today and then forgot to get that one and got other books, but I will get it. I will get it. So I'm excited for that. Most of the cards are free. Yeah. And I don't mind if it's like, hey, you have to pay $10 to have a year's worth of books. That's fine. But the ones that are like $30 and more.
I wish that were the case. I tried to get one at the county that's over from me. They wanted $75.
Yeah, no.
For a year. Cash. Because I was going to give it to them, and they're like, oh, no, we only take cash. I'm like, it's funny you think I carry $75 of cash around.
Modern times. Modern times. And my mom was saying, Courtney, she remembers those days. Yep, she remembers. Usually, actually, I didn't fight. My brother fought. When I was ready to go to bed, I was ready to go to bed. Okay, and Callie says, I'm saying her name right. Don't be sorry. Okay, good. Now that we're clear on that, I won't be second guessing it. Chris couldn't get into the Throne of Glass and Fourth Wing and Raven Boys too. Okay, I don't know what Raven Boys is.
I've never tried Raven Boys. It just didn't sound like one that appealed to me.
Yeah, well, if they're anywhere close to like Fourth Wing, I probably wouldn't like it either.
Oh, no. I think they're much more YA than Fourth Wing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And Kim has a San Jose, California card as well. Isn't that where one of yours is from, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So today was your birthday. Happy birthday, Courtney. Look at you spending your birthday with us. So you took the day off to run errands and go book shopping without a husband or a toddler disrupting me or asking me if I was ready to leave yet. It was glorious and peaceful. I bet it was. That sounds like a wonderful time. For my birthday, Cody was like, okay, I've been saving up. Here's $100, which is like a lot. And then he's like, go into the bookstore and buy whatever you want. And he just sent me in. I'm like, damage is going to happen this way. And also, like, I might be in here a while because I don't have to bring my child in with me. And like, Cody's really good. But at the same time, I'm like, there's something about shopping by yourself for a book, you know, whenever you just get to take however long you want and really look at the books that you want to look at and things like that. And you're not, I mean, chasing your toddler around or having to worry about my husband. But yeah, that was fun. So Courtney, I'm so happy that you got to spend your birthday like that. That is a glorious birthday.
That does sound fun.
Yes. Grandma Susan says, happy birthday, Courtney. Yes, all the birthday wishes. You did love Fourth Wing, even though parts were cringy. I could not get into the Raven Boys at all. Okay, so that's 2 for Raven Boys. So if I ever figure out what that is,
It's by Maggie Stiefvater.
I still don't know who that is.
Oh.
I feel like I should, but I have no idea. And maybe if I saw the covers, I would know.
Yeah, it's an older YA series. I want to say like 2010, 2011-ish era.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was getting out of reading for a bit at that point because I had just graduated and then moved and just wasn't reading as much as I should have. I wasn't. And yes, happy birthday again for Miss Courtney. Have y'all ever read or heard of Library Extension?
No, what is that?
Yeah, I haven't either. You'll have to. It's only for computer, but it works with Goodreads and Amazon. It lets you know if your library has any book you look up. That is cool.
Nope, I haven't heard of that.
I haven't heard of that either. I might have to use that. Although
I don't actually use like my computer all that much, so it wouldn't be very useful for me.
Yeah, I don't use Goodreads that much actually. I like Storygraph because you can figure out more of like what kind of content it's going to have. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to explain. Like it's things that people might want to actually like trigger warnings and stuff like that. It'll tell you if it's like this thing is very, very high or
I love that.
Yeah. So I use Storygraph for that a lot. So I don't now because I've gotten so used to it, I don't really use Goodreads as much. But that is
I left Goodreads for Storygraph.
Yeah, I love Storygraph, which I just heard about one called, I think it's called Hardcover, Hardbook, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have 2. It sounds pretty cool too. I have not looked into it, but it looks like it may just be a computer one, and so I'm like, I wouldn't use that. Wouldn't use it, but
I've been pretty happy with Storygraph. I like the little pie charts and stuff they show you.
Yes, I love that.
I always encourage people to. I'm like, leave Goodreads, leave it.
Make it switch.
Come over to Storygraph. This is where the cool kids are.
I love it. I use Storygraph and Bookmori. Do you know what Bookmori is?
I've heard of it, but I haven't used it.
So It's super cute. I'm going to show you guys because it's like, it's a free app, which I mean, all of these are. You have the option to pay more, but I love it because I am such a visual person that if I put my books in there that I've read, let me see if y'all can see this. It's like not want to show you. Come on, there it is. It will like show. Oh, yeah, it showed for a second. There it is. Oh, whatever. Anyways, it shows you like a calendar, and then the day that you finish your book, it will put the book cover on that day.
Oh,
And
that's
so I
cute.
can look at my calendar and see what I've read for the month with just one glance. I love it. I love it. So Chris says, Kim, I have just this year actually love it and just found out can use Siri or Alexa to read to you. That's true. And
That's
I
nice.
found out through my mom that if you're using Audible and you are reading on your Kindle, that wherever you leave off on one or the other, it will pick it up in the other device, which is
You can also, if you don't like, if you're wanting an audiobook or you want to listen to the book and they don't have an audio version for it, you can turn on your text to speech feature on your Kindle. And it's like a robot reading to you. It's Alexa reading to you. So it's not as
yeah,
good as an audiobook, but that's what I've used in the past because sometimes my
yeah.
eyes just get tired of staring at a screen. So
Oh
I'll
yeah.
just listen to Alexa read to me.
Oh, the technology we have nowadays is amazing. Yeah, Kim's saying that she didn't know that. I didn't know that until just this last week. I think Chris actually mentioned it. So that's where I learned about it. And you use it on your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
She says, try it. Can even change on Siri the accents. Oh, that would actually be really fun. I didn't think about that, but you can have it read to you in whatever accent that they have. That's pretty cool. Does Storygraph have a website? Yep, you can use their website.
They have a
They also
website
have
and an app.
Yeah, I use their app most of the time because I'm usually using it whenever I'm usually using it when I'm out and about. But they do have a website.
Mm-hmm.
So highly recommend it. It might work with other sites as well. Goodreads and Amazon are just the two that you use. Just discovered it also works with thrift books. That is amazing. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. If so, can use the extension there.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Could try.
I would imagine. I mean, I would imagine so. It's just using website data. I don't know. Yeah, Kim doesn't know either. We're all going to learn, though, eventually. Yes, you can use it on the laptop. And you don't listen to books. You get way too distracted and would be constantly rewinding. Yeah, I have to be like in a special headspace or a very specific headspace to only listen to an audiobook. But I really enjoy listening to audiobook and reading at the same time because I feel like I actually soak it in even better since I'm doing both the auditory and the visual reading at the same time.
Yeah. You're using multiple senses.
Yes, I'm such a big fan of that.
I listen to audiobooks whenever I'm doing like menial tasks, like when I'm doing yard work or cleaning the house or doing laundry. Audiobooks.
Yeah. That's usually what I'm doing. If I'm washing dishes, I'm probably going to be listening to an audiobook. But then it has to be an audiobook that I can listen to while washing the dishes because there are some that it's so monotone that I will completely space out. There needs to be enough going on that will keep me interested in that and not paying attention to just my dishes.
Yeah. We want stuff that takes us away from doing dishes.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to just all of a sudden be like, oh, they're all done. I had no idea who did them, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Linda, you have a hard time with fantasy on audio unless I'm reading and listening at the same time. Yeah, that depends for me. I was trying to do Lightlark. I tried to start it as an audio because I was doing dishes. And I realized I cannot do this on audiobook because she was building the different like kingdoms and they all sound very similar. So I was getting very confused with what was supposed to go with what and like who was supposed to go where. So I had to stop, wait until I could be down, like read it physically. And then after that, I was able to listen to it on audiobook. But I mean, I had to go in several chapters until I finally fully understood like what this world was supposed to look like and the politics of it all.
I just finished listening to When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker.
Was it good?
Oh my God, that audiobook, like, If you look at the book, there's like 10 pages before the actual story of like an index of the world and the characters.
Wow.
I did not look at that. I just jumped into the audiobook and it took me a long time to be like, what? Huh?
Wow.
I just
Yeah.
went with it because I was like, you know what? I don't care. Just I'll catch up eventually.
Yeah. Did you catch up eventually?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It
That's
was a
worth it
pretty
then.
average read for me, but you know,
Gotcha.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. The cover on that book is stunning.
It is. That's what drew my attention to it. I was like,
Yes.
dragons, romance.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Anytime there's dragons involved, I'm like, it's gonna be pretty high, my TBR.
I did like it better than Fourth Wing, though. I will say that. It was
Okay.
still a pretty average book, but at least I enjoyed it.
But it was better. Okay. And Linda says, unless it's a series, I've been reading it for a while, then it's okay. Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Whenever you understand like how they're already set up or designed, I totally get that. That's how I am. I could probably listen to the rest of Light Lark's series now that I already have the groundwork laid out for me, for sure. And Chris can do audio if it's a first person point of view, not multiple, and it's not a complex story. So I don't mind them if they have the different people talking for the different parts of the points of views. But it does get really complicated when it's the same person and there's like 8 points of views.
And
That
they
gets,
don't do anything to differentiate their voice. That,
yes, or it's like just a tiny bit to where you're like, that doesn't work for me.
yeah. I need multicast or dual cast narrators for
Yes,
that.
yes. I was actually listening to one. It was one that I DNF'd last month, and it could have been a good story, but the writing was a little confusing. But then they also used narrators who sounded very similar. They were
Mhm.
different, but they were so similar that I could not quite distinguish them unless I really sat there and like super paid attention to what was going on, which I probably should have. Disappointed the book, but I just didn't finish it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, Bex, I'm pretty sure you were saying you needed to try to get off around now, right?
I do. I do.
Okay. Well, we are going to let Bex head out on her way. I'm going to go ahead and do one more reading sprint because it's still a little early here. But Bex, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you,
Of
everybody, for
course.
tuning in and introducing yourselves.
Yes, yes.
If
I
you
finally got
subscribe, thank you so
yes.
much.
I have your information down below now, so everybody can find you and they can follow you and be on the lookout for her awesome video of YouTubers around the United States.
Yes,
And
it'll be out on July 4th. So,
there you go. So now we know the exact date. Look for it July 4th. I will definitely be promoting it as well, and we'll be trying to find the rest of those people that you're needing.
thank you so
You're
much.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. But we will see you the next time you pop in with us.
All right. Yes, do if you ever need somebody to sprint with you, just let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Hope you get some
Thanks,
sleep.
everybody. Night.
All right, bye. All right, guys. So I have one more round in me. I can get another good sprint in if you guys are all on board with that. I'm thinking maybe a 45-minute one. That way we can read for 45 minutes and then we'll just have a short little let's see where everybody is and then call it a night because that's about 9 o'clock our time. If that works for you guys, let me know really quick. If it doesn't, we can make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, because I mean, that's almost a 45-minute read, which would be great for me. And I am going to have to pause in a second, anyways, and get my dog inside because she's still just roaming around outside. Okay, Jana says it works for her. Awesome, awesome. So we're probably just going to go ahead and do that. And Courtney, you're up for whatever. You're just always along for the ride. I love it. I love it. What a can-do attitude you have. And Mom says sounds good. All right, then that's what we're gonna do. We are going to come back at the 45. Let me get everything set up, and I will see you guys then. Alrighty, guys. We officially finished our last sprint. So I'm going to check in. Kay, hi, girl. Working on things, listening to New Arrivals at Hedgehog Hollow by Jessica Redland for book club. Hugging the like button. Thank you so much. I have not heard of that book, but that does sound really cute. Sounds like a really good one that I would probably enjoy. I hope that you enjoy it and love the ambiance. What is it? It is called The Red Room. I will grab a link for it, and I'll put it down in the description box so you can come back and you can just click on it there. That way it'll take you straight to it. I just thought, since I'm reading Skyward, and I know several other people are reading Skyward for the Patreon book club, I thought that would be a really fun little ambiance for us to get in the mood for it. Thank you for the sprints. Looking forward to the ones later this week. Also looking forward to Murder and Mayhem. Yes, I'm looking forward to all of that as well. I have a very busy week leading up to this, so I'm excited to finally get into some murder mysteries with you guys and to see who's going to solve this case. But I'm also just excited because the sprints that we're going to be doing later on this week, I've not done them at any of these times. So I'm excited for those. I think it'll be a fun time. So Courtney, you got another 32 page reads. You're very welcome for the sprints anytime. Jana, thank you for the sprints. I will finish my book later tonight. You're very welcome, and I hope that you enjoy your book the rest of this evening as well. And Kim, you're reading emails. That's sometimes fun, sometimes not. I totally get that. I was actually doing that for a portion of this as well. You're at 44%, so made great progress. You did. That's awesome, Susan. That's really good. It is cute. Book 2, there is a bit of family drama in it, but also fun. Love the hedgehogs. I mean, I have a thing for hedgehogs, so I already jotted that down, so I will be looking it up because I like things that have animals as well, just in general. But thanks for the sprints today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. You as well. I hope that if any of you guys are heading off to bed, that you can have a great night's sleep. And I hope that if you are going to be awake for a little while longer, I hope that you have a great day, whatever might be ahead of you. You read 29 pages. Thank you for the sprints. You were so very, very welcome. You guys all made wonderful progress. They run a rescue for the hedgehogs. Stop it. Oh my goodness. That sounds awesome. It's like one of those quirky things. I like quirky stuff like that. That's going to be a fun book. Okay, it's going on my to look out for page. And Kim is also participating in the readathon. You're a sleuth. We have so many sleuths. For a while, you guys were like the smallest team, and then all of a sudden we just got this huge influx of sleuths. It was crazy. But that's great. You guys are doing wonderful. And they are on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, I'm going to have to find them on there for sure. I don't do a ton of like Kindle books, but when they're ones like that, I would be willing to. I was reading this, I do not know what the series is called. It's retellings of fairy tales, but it is based in autumn. So the one that I read was called Callie and the Pumpkin Seed. And that is actually a Cinderella retelling. And it was so stinking cute, but you could only get it through Kindle Unlimited. I think now you can finally get the paperback of it, but for a while you can only get it on Kindle Unlimited. So those ones I made an exception for. So I'll probably make an exception for the hedgehogs because, I mean, it's kind of free-ish, you know? So it's worth it. But I am going to get off of here, guys, because it has been almost 3 hours. And so I'm going to go say goodnight to Piper because she is just not going to sleep tonight. So I'm going to see if I can help Cody maybe get her down. And I'm going to hopefully read some more Skyward and then see you guys again, hopefully, Thursday. Thursday, we will be doing a sprint. It'll be me and then Sam from A Spark of Sam. And we will be on at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So there should already be a thing on YouTube for you guys, so y'all can just hit the little notification button and you'll be notified whenever we are getting started. But thank you guys for spending time with me, and I will see you guys the next time around. All right, bye. I will give your granddaughter a kiss for you, boo. All right. Love you guys. Bye.